we're just not there yet. I mean, and we had a chance to take a big step today, and unfortunately, like so many other teams in this league that are still trying to fight to gain the consistency that you want, not able to do it. And against a team that's played well at home and has done a lot of good things over the last month or so. And we didn't finish the game very well. A couple loose balls we got to come up with, and just really struggled at the end, just flat out guarding the basketball, which we said was the #1 key.
36-32 at the half. It looks like BC may have changed things strategically in the second half. Maybe a little more emphasis on going inside to start the half.
Well, I don't know if in terms of going into Anderson.
Well, just trying to drive the ball and score with Anderson.
Well, I thought we did a better job of guarding the ball in the first half.
Yeah.
And in the second half, we just didn't move our feet well enough. We got stretched a little bit, and what ends up happening, a guy like Odio hits a couple threes who hasn't shot the ball well. We did a good job of guarding our three-point shooters for the most part in terms of who normally shoots them. But we got to be able to maybe do a little bit of both. Maybe got a little too stretched in the coverages, because you can't allow them to get all the way to the basket like we did in the second half.
Well, and in a situation where Solomon and Stacey are not here because of the death of their grandmother, and you're not as strong or as deep as at guard as you need to be, in a day probably, quite frankly, where you need a little bit more push if you could.
No question. Mufon got in some foul trouble and that hurt us. But again, all those things being said,
Sure.
you still have to go back to what we said from day one. A couple key stats that you need to look at with this team. Number one, they got to the line 25 times to our 7.
Yep.
So they were more aggressive attacking the basket. You could probably still win with that. The second thing is we were out-rebounded.
Yep.
And that's a big key. We just out-rebounded the biggest, most mature, strongest team maybe in the country in Miami. And now we got out-rebounded by Boston College. There's no logical explanation for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And our guys got to understand that. And then the second thing is, again, 11 turnovers and only 10 assists. We scored 30 baskets but only had 10 assists. Not enough ball movement, not enough sharing the ball. When we did do that, we were pretty successful.
Coach, there's a reality you could play these guys again Thursday at noon now as the way things play out. Obviously, Clemson-Miami has some bearing on that. That'd kind of be an interesting twist, wouldn't it?
Well, we'll see what happens, but in all likelihood, this is what we're going to have to play, so we're going to have to figure out, especially in that second half, in those last 10 or 12 minutes, what we didn't do well. As well as we did some stuff at the end of that game on Wednesday, again, we didn't do it so much today, and disappointed in that, that we weren't able to take another step forward as a program. But those are the challenges that come with the rebuilding. So we got to bounce back and figure out a way to get them one on Thursday to start the ACC tournament.